Hey everyone, this is Tinkering with B-Hav, and I'm B-Hav. I got a request from one of my viewers to make a video of how to safely light a Coleman lantern, so I'm going to make that video tonight. We're going to be lighting this Coleman 237 kerosene lantern. Many of you watched me put this lantern together. When I got it, it was in pretty bad shape. I had to do a lot of work to it to get it ready to light. If you go back and look through my videos, you'll find the one of me putting this together if you want to watch that. So if you like my content, I want to tell you about this. If you like my content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel, to like it, to share the video. You can go to all the different social medias. I have a link on my website, tinkeringwithbhav.com. There's links to all my social medias. And please subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff. So with that being said, let's get into it. The first thing I need to do is put a mantle on this lantern. There's no mantle on it. So you got to take it apart. So we'll take the top off. You can hear my dog barking in the background. He's probably upset that I'm not paying attention to him. So you got to take the bail out, right? And it just pulls out. There we go. Take that out. I took the top bail nut off, or excuse me, the vent nut off. Take the vent off, and we will take the globe off. So I'm going to turn this lantern sideways so you can see it a little better. It's got a ceramic burner right here. Speaking of Calvin, my dog, he just came in and saying hi. So I'm going to put a Peerless 24A mantle on there. Then it's a string tie mantle. I'm not a big fan of those Instaclip ones, and look how big that is. That's because this is a 500 candle power lantern, and it takes a bigger mantle than normal. So if you look, it's got little ties on it. You open it up, and we're going to put it around the ceramic burner, okay, like that. And I hold the two ties, and we're going to tie it nice and tight. But first we have to cinch it up on there like that. Okay, then I'm just going to tie it in a double knot. So nothing fancy. It doesn't have to be some fancy knot. Okay, there's one. And two. That's just a double overhand knot. If I can get it through there. Usually I'm looking around the other way. Calvin, leave that alone. My dog's down here digging in my trash can. Well, he got something. So I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Many of you that have dogs know that if you don't pay attention to them, sometimes they like to nose into stuff, so that you got to pay attention to them. That's my Calvin. He's not spoiled at all, believe me. Okay, so after you get it tied on there, you have these little tails on here, right? So you have to cut those off. You're not supposed to leave those on there. So you just take a pair of scissors and trim it down close, like that, like that. Okay, so I trimmed those little tails off of there. And that is pretty much ready to go. Now I'm going to have to take this outside to burn that mantle in, and I'll show you, because it smokes a lot when you do it. But you're supposed to pre-burn your mantles before you light a lantern. You're not supposed to light it with them like this. You got to burn it first. Some guys say that you can just light the lantern with it like this, but pre-burning them is the way to go. That's the way Coleman says to do it, so that's the way I do it. And I've never had any issues with it. So I am going to, well, you know what? Before we do that, I'll show you how to fuel it up. So the way you fuel up a Coleman lantern is you undo the fuel cap. Pretty simple there. Set it aside. And I use a funnel. This is a Coleman number 0 funnel. And it's got a filter inside of it. That's just felt. Okay, but that filters out any debris that might be in the fuel so that it doesn't get in there, because the pickup tube has a pretty small hole in it. And any debris that gets in there will clog that up, and then you wouldn't get fuel. So you set your funnel in there like that. And like I said, this is a kerosene lantern, so I have a bottle of a K1 clean burning fuel kerosene. And I'm not going to put a whole lot in there, because I'm not going to store it with a lot in it. But then you just pour it in there. That's probably more than enough. We'll put a little bit more in there. There we go. Okay, so always use a funnel. That way you don't spill it. Just pour it slow. You're not in a hurry to pour any kind of fuel in your lantern. That way you don't spill it and make a big mess. Okay, and I'll take this little empty cup here because there will always be a little bit of fuel left in your funnel. Now, if I was outside, if I was out camping, I would just kind of set this aside. I wouldn't have to put it in something like this, but since it's in my house, I'm just going to put it in something so that if it drips, it'll drip in here. Okay, so we got fuel in the lantern. Now we're going to put the cap back on. Okay, so there we go. So if you're looking at this, a lot of you that didn't watch me put this lantern together might wonder what this little cup is right here on the generator. Well, that's called a preheat cup. So with a kerosene lantern, you have to fill that full of alcohol, and then you light that first, and that heats this tube up right here. This is the generator, okay? And that's where the liquid fuel turns into vapor, so you get vapor coming out of here to burn in your mantle. So it has to be really hot with kerosene because the flash point of kerosene to turn it from liquid into vapor is higher than it is with Coleman fuel, which is white gas. So you have to use a preheat cup to preheat the generator. That way, when the kerosene comes up through there, it vaporizes right away and burns. So we'll do that, and I'll show you how to do that. So, but right now, I'm going to take this outside and burn this mantle in. So come along with me. Okay, so now we're out here in my backyard, out of the rain. It's raining right now, but I have a little cover over my patio here, so I'm going to light this right now. So I just use this little torch lighter. It works pretty good. And I'll light it. You light it on multiple sides and just let it burn. It's going to smoke quite a bit. As you can see, just let it burn up until it is 100% ash. And it's going to shrink up quite a bit as it burns here. Oop. Got a lot of little bit of a breeze, which is not good. I don't want it to, because that's just ash. I don't want it to blow. If it breaks, it gets a hole in it, I'll have to put a different one in there. So you can also burn it. If I would have, I should have brought the globe up, and I could have set the globe over it, and that would have keep the wind off of it. But as soon as it stops smoking here, we'll just take it right back inside. So that's how you burn a mantle in. You just light it on fire until it's ash, and then it's ready to go. Now that'll poof out once it starts getting some pressure in there from when you pump it up and turn the gas on and all that stuff. So then that'll poof it up and make it kind of round, kind of. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and I'm going to take it back down as soon as it stops smoking. And we're back again. Okay, so now the next step is we're going to fill the preheat cup with alcohol. So to do that, they sell these little alcohol bottles like this. You put alcohol in it, and you can just squeeze it and pour it in there instead of trying to pour alcohol in that cup and getting it all over everything. You don't want flames all over the place in there. You just want it coming out of this cup right here. So you get this little bottle. It was only a few dollars. It wasn't very expensive. And then you just squeeze it in there and fill that cup up all the way, just like that. And that cup's full of alcohol. So when I'm getting ready to light it, I'll light that. But first, I guess I should have pumped it up first. I'm learning about kerosene lanterns too. This is the first one I've had, so I've just researched on how to light it. So this is the first time I'm lighting it. So we need to pump it up some and get some pressure in there. So we'll do that. Try not to shake it with that alcohol in there. I probably should have pumped it up before I put the alcohol in there. Okay, so now we got pressure. We got alcohol, we got pressure. So the next step is to light the alcohol and let it burn. And it's going to heat that generator up. So I'm just going to use my little lighter here, and I'm going to light that alcohol. And that alcohol is burning. They say you let it burn until the alcohol is gone or almost gone. So while that's burning, you can't see the flame because it's alcohol. You can't really see the flame, but I can see a little smoke coming up there. So to hold the heat in, you'll put your globe on. And we're going to put the top on also. the vent, excuse me. Got to use the right terminology. And it's smoking a little bit in there. That's okay. We're going to put the bail on and everything, so it is ready to go. Put the bail nut on. So now after that burns down for a while and heats that generator, all we have to do is crack the fuel and it should light because there's already a flame in there. So we'll let that burn for a few minutes. I can see the flame in there pretty good. So it's burned about maybe not quite half of the alcohol that I put in there. So you let it till it's almost burnt out. That way it heats the generator up real good. Oh yeah, I can see the alcohol, it's bubbling in there. So it's definitely getting hot. Got the Blues game on here. They're losing 1-0 already in the first period. Going for 10 wins in a row, 11. 11 wins in a row. Okay, so the alcohol's getting low in there. I want to open the fuel while there's still a flame so that it lights. So we're just going to crack the fuel a little bit here. And looky there. Once it glows, you just turn it all the way on. With a Coleman lantern, this valve, you turn it all the way on. Like it's not made to be, this does not control the brightness of the lantern. You can control the brightness a little bit with the pricker level on the side here. Like I can turn that and it'll like shut the fuel down a little bit like that if you want. But if you want it to go full on, you just leave it open and that's on. And that's lit. That's how you safely light a Coleman lantern. Let me turn my lights out in here and we'll see how bright it is. Oh, I got one more to turn out. There you go. There's still a little alcohol in there bubbling, but that's okay. That'll burn off. But that's a 500 candle power kerosene lantern. And that's pretty bright. Makes a lot of light. It makes a lot of heat too. Boy, that sucker's hot. I can feel the heat coming off the top of it. You definitely don't want to touch that. So, if you have any questions about how to light a kerosene lantern, be sure to put them in the comments and I'll answer them if I can, or I'll look it up if I don't know, and then I'll let you know that way. So, once again, if you like my content, feel free to share it, like it, subscribe to all my channels. TinkeringWithB-Hav.com has a link to all my socials. I haven't updated Tinkering with B-Hav in a while because I don't have a lot to put on there, but I'm working on it. Like, this is a work in progress, and I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I'm learning how to edit video, all this stuff. I'm doing it all at the same time. So I do appreciate you guys watching, and please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. So this is Tinkering with B-Hav. I'm B-Hav. Thanks for watching.